Archer, and the Devil.
Welcome to podcast number 3. Trois.
That
Dos.
Tres?
No, tres. No, God.
Good start, a strong start.
What was it, less than a minute in before you fucked it up?
6 seconds, I'd say. That's a new record.
Jesus Christ. Oh,
it is
God. We're both a bit ill, still. A bit snotty, a bit coffee.
But I like it because I sound sexy. So my mum says anyway.
Sound sexy. I tell you what then, let's go straight into it. Doppelgängers.
Right, okay. Yeah,
you said you sound sexy. Do you look sexy?
Always.
You posted, so you need to follow us on social media.
You do.
Because there's what is it? You do Twitter, I don't.
Yeah, Twitter's my main source of social media. And there was a thing this week, which was Doppelganger Challenge.
Okay.
It always comes about every 4 or 5 years.
Yep.
Where people were posting their doppelgangers, who they look like the most. I've obviously, as previously discussed, had The Rock, Jason Momoa or Aquaman or Carl.
I thought you were genuinely serious then when you said The Rock.
And the thing is, so I went out last weekend, and within 15 minutes, I've had all 3 and Jack Sparrow in 15 minutes.
Jack Sparrow?
I think it's the makeup and the rum.
What?
And the rum. I don't think I look like any of these people.
I mean, you clearly look like Jason Momoa. Jack Black.
No, not Jack Black. Jack Sparrow.
Jack Sparrow. Oh, you said Jack Black.
Did I say Jack Black?
You said Jack Black.
Did I say Jack Black?
Oh, I got so confused.
No, sorry about that.
Definitely. And then you went, yes, the makeup. What?
What, Jack Black?
Makes even less sense.
He was the voice in Kung Fu Panda. That's
Jack Black or Jack Sparrow?
Jack Black.
Okay.
But yours.
What's going on?
So we posted these on our Instagram and Facebook, which
Yep.
are Archer and the Devil, at Archer and the Devil,
Yep.
if you haven't, if you want to see them. Yours is a guy called Dylan Francis,
Right.
who I'd never heard of before.
Neither had I.
My favourite thing about this was when I posted it on Facebook and you shared it, your mum thought that the picture of Dylan Francis.
It seemed that everybody was thinking that I was comparing myself to you. Nobody realised that the 4 pictures was of 4 different people.
Right, yeah.
They thought the top 2 was me and the bottom 2 was you. And I was going...
So I made the thing. And
Yeah.
even I was like, having to double check, I'm not posting just to... You look so much like this guy, it's unreal.
But yeah, my mum didn't realise.
As I said, he looks more like you than you do.
It's literally my mum went, I thought there was both Jake at the top. Because everyone was going, I don't get what the difference is.
Yeah.
Like, you clearly you don't look like each other. I'm like, no. We're not supposed to look like each other.
That's not the thing here.
The picture that we're next to is who we're supposed to look like. But yeah, no, I was in Poland last year at a Monster Energy event party thing. So there's obviously a lot of people there that are up with current affairs, DJs, extreme sports stars, etc. And one of the guys came running over and he went, he genuinely thought
I understand
I
why.
was this guy,
but
this Dillian Francis. And because if it was Dillian Francis, he wouldn't have been out of place at that party. Do you know what I mean? Because there's usually DJs and there's like whatever people there, sports stars, magicians they have there, like all these different like personalities.
Yeah.
So if it was him, it very well could have been him. There was no reason why it couldn't have been. And he said...
Has anyone ever seen both of you in this room at the same time?
I don't even know who this guy... I still don't know who this guy is.
So sorry, I'm interrupting your story. What happened with this guy?
He literally came over and he was like, are you Dillian Francis? I said, what? I don't know what you're talking about. Like, who is this Dillian Francis? Obviously straight on his phone, Google, and he went like that. I went, holy shit.
That's me.
It looked like a mirror.
That's
it
me.
literally looked like he was holding a mirror up to me.
At this point, Rob will put the pictures up for those who haven't seen on Instagram
So if you
or
are
Facebook.
Listening and you want to see the audio and the visuals, please watch our YouTube video.
Yeah, but it's not just a picture of Jake, I promise you. But honestly, so I went on his Instagram page afterwards, and I'm pretty sure I just saw pictures of you.
Crazy.
If it wasn't for the tattoos being different.
Yes, he does have a tan because he lives in LA.
Yeah.
And he has sparkly eyes. He has very sparkly
Yours
eyes.
are twinkly eyes.
Well, that's the difference, sparkly and twinkly. But it genuinely, some of the poses, just some of the way he looks.
His mannerisms, his demeanour.
It's crazy.
Genuinely, it's fuck. Like, if they made a movie of your life,
I ended up doing a bit of research on him the one day, and I managed to find a YouTube video, and it's him, Deadmau5 and Skrillex in a car driving round, I think it's somewhere where Deadmau5 lives, literally in a car. They're doing like carpool karaoke but not singing, so it's just the three of them driving around for 2 hours, and I watched every single minute of it.
Just because you felt like you were watching yourself?
Just because I felt like I might as well watch it because it's basically me. So I probably should get to know me.
That is the thing I have. Because I don't think I love Jason Momoa. We're not going to get into your opinion on this.
Clearly he does.
My only annoyance with it is the whole Guinness drinking, axe throwing, rock climbing thing. Because I do all three of those things. And I feel like he kind of stole my life and monetized it just significantly better than I could have. And I don't know how. I mean, he's the guy's hench. I'll give him that.
Could you not be like his stunt double or something?
I don't want to be his fucking stunt double.
Why?
Because I don't.
But that'd be like a sick life. You look like Jason Momoa. Yeah, I mean,
I'm too old to be anyone's fucking stunt. I need a stunt double for regular drunken life. Just every Saturday, just someone can come and be like, all the times I do dumb shit. If someone can just like tap in and I'll hide around the corner and they go and do that dumb shit. That's what I need.
Mine's a fair. So obviously mine only come alive last year. I've had a few other people say a long time ago. Somebody come up to me and she was like, I was fitting Sky in someone's house. And she kept nudging her husband. And she went, go on, you say it, you say it. He went, no, you say it. And she went, oh, you probably hear this all the time. I went, go on. She went, you do look like Steven Gerrard.
The thing is, I asked you beforehand, like when I was making the thing, I was like, is there anyone you've been told you look like? And you said Steven Gerrard and Dylan Francis. So obviously I know who Steven Gerrard is. Looking at you now, I see it.
Do you really?
I do see it.
And literally, that's the only person that's ever said that.
But fleetingly, like not, you know what I mean?
Steven Gerrard in his prime, not old and fat like me now.
But Dylan Francis is, I'm still not convinced that is you.
It's so
I've never heard your American accent properly, but I'm honestly wouldn't be too, if I found out you were him, I'd be like,
mate, he is like a there you go, there's Gerrard. He is a superstar, multi-millionaire DJ, and I've never heard of him.
He's got 3 million followers on Instagram.
Never heard of him.
Which I know isn't like by any means a pillar of how famous
it shows that he's a celebrity, he's a personality. Yeah. I've literally never heard of him in my life.
I'm not into that kind of music anyway, so I'm not going to be... Like, I know who Skrillex is, I know who Deadmau5 is, but they've got a shtick, you know what I mean? They've got something about like Deadmau5 with a fucking mouse helmet. And
he's really old as well, Deadmau5.
Is he?
Yeah, he's
I've
like
never
in
seen
his
his
50s.
face. And like Skrillex inspired 1,000 girls to shake half their head.
Skrillex is the other way. He's like 15.
Forever.
He literally looked, in that video I watched, it looks like Deadmau5 has took his 2 kids out for a drive around the town. Skrillex looks about 15.
The thing is, so with the drug, because my drug thing started, my dad was the first person to call it me.
How long ago was this?
2011.
Right, so...
2010, so about 9-10 years ago.
So what had he done? So this was Game of Thrones, and that was the first thing really that he did.
And it was the first season, I think like the second episode. Right. I hadn't seen it, and I'd gone around to visit my parents. My dad called me Drogo, and I thought he was swearing at me in Indian. And I'm like, what'd you call me? It's like, no, the guy from that show. So I went home and watched the next episode.
What did you call me?
I honestly thought he was swearing at me. And like, so I went back and watched it, and I really got into the show from the start. And to be fair, the first couple, because he dies after the first season.
Yeah, there's not in it long.
Spoiler alert, but it's been 10 years if you haven't seen it now.
He's not in it that long.
He's not in it that long, right? And again, like a few people around that time, I mean, my hair was significantly shorter. I didn't have as much of a beard.
You didn't have a big beard even though it was more like a little bit on your chin.
Yeah. So it didn't happen too often, but every once in a while. And then as time went on and more people, once it picked up momentum and got really popular and more people were watching it, it was like every time a new season started, people, would go back to the start and watch it. And every year, more and more people. And I think it wasn't until I started traveling, it got much worse. Like I said,
he says worse.
I said about the guy in Nepal last time. I remember the only time someone's genuinely, because a lot of people, it's always you look like the guy. There's been 3 instances where people thought I was him.
Right.
So one of them, the worst one was when I lived in Iceland, I used to work in this information centre, and a guy came in, an Icelandic guy, and he was talking to me for about 5 minutes, like he knew me. And I'd been there the year before. I'd been there for a year. So I thought maybe I met him last year. And the place he was on about, I was like, I've never been there. And I realised he thought I was...
Jason
when he filmed Aquaman. And this guy worked on the film. So it wasn't even like he met him. He, day in, day out, like was with the guy. Must have just thought, like, why would I be working in it?
Times are.
research for a new role while working at a fucking information centre.
Remember that film that we done last year? Yeah, well,
But I'm also playing a British character. Like, fuck's sake. But I literally had to be like, I'm not that guy, right? And he was like, are you not? I'm like, no, like, firstly, listen to me and look at me. You have the ability to do both. Not that guy. The worst, though, was in Brazil. I traveled from Canada to Patagonia and finished in Brazil. And it was my last full day of traveling. I was flying home 10 p.m. the night after. And I went to Copacabana Beach in Rio. And we're just processing everything. And some woman comes up. Now, people always ask me for photographs, which I don't mind. If you do and you ask, I'm never going to fucking see it, so I don't care. I always find it weird. Like, what are you going to do with this afterwards?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's probably like, look, I met someone, but she asked me for my autograph. I'm not signing anything. What? And I didn't. But I couldn't process why she would ask, because no one had ever asked me that before. And I was like, why do you want my autograph? And then I realised what it was. And I was wearing a vest as well, so I could see all my tattoos and stuff like that, which are very different from his. And I'm like, I'm not him. And she got really pissed off with me. Like, you haven't got to be a dick about it. I'm like, no. Like, I've drawn my passport. Like, I'm genuinely not him. And she called me an asshole and walked away. So, sorry, Jason Momoa, I lost you a fan in Brazil.
Did she take the picture?
No. She just left really angry. And I was like, I've lost him a fan here, because she must think he's like, she's told everyone now I met him and he was a dick. But I'm like, I'm not gonna sit there and pretend.
It would have been so good if she'd have took the picture, because she would have been like, he took the picture and then he was an absolute dickhead.
Right,
Look, here's a picture, and everyone would have gone,
That's not him. That's not him.
That's why he was a dickhead.
Well, because she asked for the autograph first. Right. Like, can I get a picture of an autograph? And I was like, what? No, not him.
I'm not here. I know what you're going to say.
Not that guy. But you do, honestly, with people like, it's always, do you know who you look like? Has anyone ever told you? That has anyone ever told you bothers me, because it's like, if you thought it immediately after seeing me, assume that 9 out of 10 people have as well.
And it was out 10 years ago. So there's a good chance that somebody at some point has said something.
I remember again when I was in Iceland, I used to live like 30 minutes away from the closest supermarket and just go on a cigarette run every few days and buy like X amount of packs. And I was in the queues to get cigarettes, and these two people in front of me had a trolley. It was a couple. The woman's on one side, the man's on the other. And I realised she was filming me. Well, she's literally holding her, like, so. Like,
oh, sneaky.
She was like that with the phone filming. The guy moves out the way to get something off the shelf, and she didn't look at me once. She looked at her phone, shook her head, was like, nah, I didn't get it. And did it again, and then she was like, yeah, I got it. And I saw her phone, I was like, that's fucking me. I wish I'd said something. But just. And the thing is, I saw someone, I went to London last month, and I saw
People are so
God, they really are. Honestly, I'd be eating in restaurants and people take pictures and stuff like that. And the thing is, I'm not famous. I look like someone who is. I can't imagine what it's like actually being
exactly
famous.
That, yeah.
Like, and I genuinely think because of that, if I saw somebody who was, I love David Beckham. If I saw him in a restaurant,
you would do exactly the same.
I would do the same thing. I try not to, but
you would.
I would.
That's what I mean. And it's not even like obviously Dillian Francis can probably walk around and 9 out of 10 people wouldn't notice him.
Yeah.
Unless you was a proper fan. Jason Momoa, not so much.
Yeah.
Even if you didn't know who Jason Momoa was, you would still probably look at the guy.
Yeah, because he's like, I think he's like 6'4".
It's the same as you. Like you, even if you didn't know who he was and you wasn't looking at you to think he looks like him, people still look at you anyway, because you look so different.
And I'm beautiful.
That's what I meant. Sorry, beautiful, not different. I always get them two mixed up.
Yeah.
Always. But and like you say, it's just, and I've only had a small taste of it with the racing and stuff like that, and it's only in a very select. Certain people like have sent me stuff randomly going, oh, I've designed your car on Forza, or I took these pictures of you, do you like them, and stuff like that. And you'll see that you've been tagged in certain pictures that are like from the side, not looking through the fence kind of thing. And it is weird. Like I've signed a few autographs and stuff like that, and it's strange, man. It is. I don't know. I don't have an autograph. I'm like, if I sign this, can you like sign checks the same as me? Like, is this how it works? So now I had to develop like a different autograph.
Oh, right, you actually got an autograph.
Because my other one didn't. It was just a squiggle.
Mine is
it didn't say my name.
Horrendous.
So it was pointless
Do you
anyway.
remember when you were at school and they had like a half an hour lesson to practice your signature? No. Do you not remember that? I can't remember what level of education it was, but I've still got the same one. I was like 9 years old or something.
And it looks exactly the same.
Like 28 years later.
That's what I mean. Mine was just done because just get it over with as quick as possible.
Yeah.
But then if you're stood there, because when we was racing, the event that we used to do, Gymkhana Grid, that was really good at including everybody.
Right.
So every driver that was there, you would have an autograph session. So they would set
Sign
up
intent.
for everybody. Yeah, basically for everybody. So if you didn't have these, what they call hero cards, so you'd have your own face and car and information, social media, whatever, printed on one. If you didn't have them, they would give you like one for the event with everybody on. So just so you didn't just sit there like, oh, I haven't got. And sorry, do you want me to sign your face? Like, so you would literally sit there, and everybody would either be in a row or like a horseshoe shape or whatever. And like one year, I was sat next to like Ken Block, Peter Solberg. They're like signing stuff with a fancy gold pen, and I'm just there scribbling shit on bits of paper.
With your bic.
Basically, yeah. Like I haven't even got a pen. Like, do you know what I mean? I don't know. Can I borrow that pen?
Yeah.
And it is mad, but it does make you feel. For me anyway, for that weekend, it does make you feel special.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, so like you say...
Did you go to the head at all?
No, not really.
Do you think if it happened over a longer period, if if off the back of that you got more and more famous and it was a regular occurrence, if you were on TV more, on magazines and stuff like that, do you think at that point it would affect you?
I think, like you said before, I think it... Sorry, I've got a really bad cough.
It's all right.
I think it comes down to the level of fame.
Yeah.
So I think people like these famous people that are dickheads, I think they're not dickheads because they're dickheads. I think they're dickheads just because they've had enough.
I get that. And like I've spoken to people before who like have met famous people and they're like, he was an asshole. I'm like, you don't know what his day was.
He could have met 700 people
I get
before that.
Because I'm not a celebrity.
No.
I've been told I look, and it's not even like people think I am. Like the guy thought you were Dylan Francis. People are always, do you know who you look like? And even that pisses me off. Because just assume I know. By now.
Yeah.
I saw a guy in London last month who looked like, you know, The Witcher on Netflix?
No.
It had Henry Cavill in it.
I know him. Superman.
Yeah. So he plays The Witcher. He's got like long white hair in it. And this guy looked the spit. And I wanted to go over, but I was like, I can't because I'm a fucking hypocrite against everything that's happened to me.
Because then he's going to go, do you know him?
Yeah. And I'm not only that, but I'm sure now he's
been told
all the
at some point.
time.
Yeah.
So like, I don't need to say it because he knows. I promise you, if you ever look at someone and think they look like a person, and that's your first thought, it's not like after you looked at them for 10 minutes and go, oh, you know what, in certain light.
Especially if it's really fucking obvious.
Yeah.
If it's really like yourself.
Just assume.
I don't know. I think if you haven't got the right people around you, like you see all these, it's usually with music stars, isn't it, where they go a bit off the rails.
Yeah.
And I think that's partly down to being an artist because they don't want to stifle the artist.
Yeah.
They don't want to lose their mojo. So they kind of give them everything they want, tell them everything they want to hear. So then it's the same with anything. If somebody keeps telling you something, eventually you're going to start to believe it.
100%.
It's as simple as that.
100%, yeah.
So I think I've met a lot of, in my eyes, like of my heroes through my racing. There's literally two people left that I want to meet: Lewis Hamilton, and David Beckham. That's it. I've met Lewis Hamilton's brother, and he's such a down to earth guy.
Yeah, I've seen interviews with him. He's
and stuff like that. And I've been around footballers' houses and met footballers and stuff like that. And they're all just normal people.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like everyone bangs on at me going about fucking Ken Block fanboy and all this sort of stuff. But to me, Ken, before I met him, was my hero anyway, just because he's doing what I want to do.
Do you want to tell people who don't know who Ken Block is?
So Ken Block is a rally driver in a loose sense of the term. He is very much a rally driver. He does drive in rallies, but that's not his only sport. He basically he calls himself a professional hoon.
Right, okay.
So he is the head hoonigan in charge. He basically just fucks about in cars for a living, does whatever he wants, wherever he wants, sets it all up and makes a shit ton of cash off the back of it.
Yeah.
He's effectively living the dream. If he wants to go and race a season in Rallycross, he'll do it. If he wants to go and do World Rally, he'll go and do it. If he wants to his latest video, he's just helicoptered to like buggies up into the mountains with snow tracks on, and he's then snowboarded down the mountain and he's driven this buggy down with it.
That is essentially, if you guys can make us famous to the level where we can do that.
That's literally
That would be great.
That's all I would. I just want the level of fame where I can just do whatever I want and not give a shit. I don't even want to be famous.
I don't want famous. I don't want to be famous. Essentially, I just want to be rich.
Exactly. Basically, yeah. But no, so I'd never met him before. I'd watched. Last podcast we talked about the first podcast we talked about going on the rally and stuff like that. That was around about the time when I first watched. Because I was in that body shop. One of them actually said to me, have you seen the new Ken Block video? And I was like, who?
Right, okay.
So I even remember we went into the front office. He showed me on the laptop. And it was Jim Carter 1. And he was driving his Subaru around this airfield. And it was fucking phenomenal. I was hooked immediately. Like, this is incredible. And then from then on, I followed his career. And our paths crossed, which we'll go into another time, where I actually got to shoot videos with him. And I now know him quite well because of that.
Yeah.
But the first time we ever spoke, the first time I ever met him, he was just another car guy.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? He wasn't anything like a superstar, like wannabe, get away from me. This and he's approachable. He's a nice guy. Everything else. And from other people that I've met, they're all pretty much the same.
Yeah.
Like they're just normal people.
Who's the most famous person you've met? So mine was Sir Bobby Charlton, and he did not like me.
It depends in, obviously, kind of what
what you view as being
famous. Like I've met Travis Pastrana.
I don't know who that is.
Exactly. To me, he's a fucking god.
Yeah.
I've met. I don't know really. I think if we just go off again, it's a bit more. It's hard to describe because I was going to say if we go off, just for instance, which picture I've posted with someone and it's got the most likes.
Right. Okay.
But my friends group is very much me. Do you know what I mean?
Are you saying you've got no friends in this?
No, I'm saying all my friends are like me.
You, yeah.
So they like the same stuff.
Yeah.
But have you ever watched Fast and Loud?
No.
On Discovery. No, exactly. So I met Aaron off Fast and Loud over in Vegas.
Right. Okay.
Phenomenal. Such a nice guy. I've met quite a few people in Vegas. Like you just bump into random people in Vegas, but they might not necessarily be like they're my heroes. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So to me, they're more famous than meeting Brad Pitt.
Yeah.
But to you, you've just gone, who?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like somebody that doesn't not interested in football might go,
I've had that with certain musicians if you meet someone in certain bands, but unless you're into that genre of music or that band, you're not gonna know who the fuck they are.
No.
You know what I mean? But I do think it is like going back to the conversation earlier. Just when you meet celebrities, I think it's weird how we hold them on a higher plateau. Like we expect more from them.
Exactly. You know they're just normal people.
Right, exactly.
They're just doing their job.
Yeah. And there is that expectation of the worst I've had is when people come up to me. I've had it, not a celebrity. People just don't look at you. They'll take a picture and walk away. And I'm like, literally, I'm a human being.
Exactly the same thing. When I was saying before, we went on that road trip and we ended up in Vegas.
Yeah.
And I was with that band. We was walking around the Bellagio casino, and one of the girl in the band is covered in tattoos all over her chest, all over her arms, everything. And we was literally walking through the Bellagio, which is quite a posh,
it is
posh casino, posh hotel, one of the more expensive ones. And people would literally it's like they'd never seen tattoos, especially on a girl before, and they would literally walk up to her. Not speak to her, just grab her arm.
Yeah.
Like, look and go, let go and just walk off.
Yeah, it's fucking...
And you're like,
what the fuck
I understand their tattoos.
Yeah.
But I'm not a piece of fucking meat. Like,
right.
At least say, I like your tattoos. Do you mind if I have a look? Or literally we just grab up, like, push your arm around to get a better angle and then just walk off again.
No, it is. Like, people are like...
It wasn't just one person.
Yeah. No,
I was
honestly,
like in 2 hours.
But again, like when I lived in Iceland, because we had so many Chinese tourists through, especially... I'm not saying a negative way about China. It's just culturally, that's what they're like. And you would just have guys. Like, I was serving someone once, because there's like a mini market there as well. And this dude with a fucking huge camera, just clicking away. So I'm like giving him the finger, like hiding, because I'm serving someone, I can't like leave. But we're just trying to make the shot as bad as possible for him. And the thing after he went, can I have a photo? I was like, no. You've just taken fucking 50 of them. I've just had a full photo shoot without request. Don't now be like, you know what, these are all shit. Can I get a better one?
Isn't it China and... Because I know when I went to Japan, people look at you. But isn't that because the tattoos are more of a gang
Yeah, there
thing.
are certain countries. Like when I was in Mexico, before I went, everyone took. Well, my friend Lana, who's from Chicago, lives in Portland, and she was like, "Don't travel through the north part because if they see being brown as well, if they see tattoos, and it's not tattoos they know, they'll assume it's a rival gang,
Really?
and you'll probably die.
That's pretty
So
hardcore.
just avoided all of that area.
That's
entirely.
pretty. Oh, you did?
Yeah,
Didn't
I was
even
like,
chance it.
Don't want to die.
That's pretty fucking hardcore. That is. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I think
How mad is that though? That it just something simple like
Yeah.
having tattoos means immediately that you're a wrong 'un.
But there is like I think with a lot of I'm not sure what because we don't really have those gangs and things here in this country. But there is kind of like it's wearing your colours. You know what I mean? And
Oh, certain tattoos, yeah. Certain
having-
tattoos do mean.
yeah, and especially if you're in time as well, like prison tattoos and stuff like that.
It's a cultural thing, and like with the
is.
teardrop and all
Yeah.
that sort of shit. Like it is a cultural thing.
Is that a fashion thing now though?
It is now
Like,
because
the
it's been
teardrop still-
it's been made. Well, yeah, I don't think that dude on the catwalk that's walking down the catwalk modelling that Prada
No,
coat has
someone.
ever killed anybody.
Unless he really wanted that jacket who
Yeah.
someone had and was
Possibly.
like, I'll take the hit.
That's how he got the job.
But also, as police, I'd just be like, you got to put a tear tattoo. Just come in for questioning. You know what I mean? You're advertising
We'll just double check.
your manslaughter.
Yeah, we'll just double check.
Yeah. Let's just get Q&A going on.
I don't know. It is mad that that tattoos literally. I mean, Rob's just had a new tattoo on his
That's a new
hand.
tattoo. Looks good.
Swallow, old school.
He does swallow as well. Sorry.
The first thing that I said to Rob is, that's a job stopper. Because it seems
Is it
to
still,
be.
though?
I think so. It's certain jobs.
Because I mean, I got my hand tattooed when I was 18.
yeah, but yeah, true.
And I accepted when I was 18 that there was no career I wanted.
But you're also pulling your sleeve down over your hand to cover it.
Currently I am. But
Is that a habit for doing that?
no.
Your
I've just
sleeve
got-
says a different
I've
story.
got a thing about sleeves.
Okay.
Just like it.
Okay.
That makes it sound much more sinister. I just like long sleeves. Nothing sexy.
Not in a weird way.
Not in a weird way.
Okay.
There sounds it now. No, it was just one of those things where I was like, is that face tattoos now the big thing?
Yeah.
Like, I think because of like the whole the way rap's gone in the US especially, there was that dude who was in prison. I can't remember what his name is now, but he had face tattoos, and like Post Malone's got face tattoos. I think that's
So Post Malone's got shit face tattoos.
that's got, well, he's got shit tattoo. Period.
I don't think any face tattoo really. You look at that and go, yeah, that looks good.
Yeah. But
Not anybody.
But that seems to be now the current thing, which a lot of
but
people have got.
is this the whole going back to last week? The attention and the social media thing is like literally because I've seen guys that haven't got any other tattoos other than their throat
Yeah. Which is
or their their hand.
Which the thing is that used to be 10 years ago, it was like you have to work your way down to that.
That was always my understanding of tattoos was
Your hand was the last bit after
you
your
have to
sleeve.
pay your dues.
Yeah.
So you
Get your chest done before you get your neck done.
exactly.
Yeah.
You have everything done until you've got no space. When you've got no space, then you go onto your neck, then you go onto your hands. That was you build up to it.
But I kind of like the fact that it isn't elitist anymore. I like the fact that if people want the hand tattoos, get the hand. Like I don't care. And
I
maybe,
care.
Do you? I don't.
care.
I think the thing is, it's
It
like,
annoys me.
yeah, but if you saw something now, if you had your neck tattooed, well, for me, for example, sleeves down, you can't tell I've got any tattoos at the moment.
But no, I've always got tattoos that I can always hide.
So if you saw my neck, are you going to come up to me and be like, have you got your chest in as well?
No, but I would look at you and go,
Prick.
I think I mean, even though I have tattoos,
Yeah.
I think I still, to an extent, not judge, but question somebody's decisions
I don't
if
like
you've
care
got your
enough.
hand or your neck tattooed.
I think I question if they've got their face. I think that you only have your head tattooed if you're a tattooist or you've made enough money in your life
It doesn't matter.
to not have to give
Yeah,
a
that's
fuck
why
about
Rob's
it.
got his hand tattooed.
Yeah.
Because Rob's made enough
That's
money
what
in
was
his
his
life.
name?
Takeshi 69.
That's the
Is that who
dude.
you're on about?
Yeah, he
Kid's
was
a
in prison.
fucking
And stuff.
idiot.
Yeah, he's a fucking tool.
Do you know why he's in prison?
No. Is that why?
He's in prison for things he shouldn't have been doing with.
Underage people.
Correct.
Why, yeah.
Yes, apparently. Allegedly.
I know he was apparently.
I know it's not even allegedly because he's actually in prison.
Well,
so there's
yeah.
no allegedly
But I know he
about
like
it.
apparently snitched on everyone
And
when he was
yeah,
in prison.
and I think when he comes out, apparently, I think he has 69 tattooed on him 69 times.
Yeah, I read that.
But a lot of it's just the number 69,
69.
in the same.
Yeah.
Like,
Like he'll have a spiral of 69 or something
It's
like that.
just, it's
Yeah,
madness. But good luck to the kid. He's also got like
Sounds
rainbow
like he
coloured
needs
teeth.
it.
He's a fucking idiot.
Yeah, he
He's
is.
not even a good rapper. Like,
I haven't
he's
heard
just
him.
one of these mumble
I
rapping
think I
idiots.
listened. That's the word I was looking for. Mumble rap.
mumble.
Rappers made face tattoos and stuff like that. Very popular, very famous.
Again, but is that because they're having to detract from their music because it's shit by being like in your face as a character?
I don't think anyone really thinks about these things that
I do.
explicitly. No, but the people involved. I don't think they're thinking, if they're looking at me, they're not listening to me. You know what I mean? Like, and I just,
No, but that's exactly what you've just said. If they're looking at me, they're not listening to me. So let's make me look as much as a character.
I think
as a caricature.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I think a part of it might be trying to distinguish yourself in a genre which is oversaturated with people doing the same thing. So
Shit music.
I mean, yeah. I was going to play devil's advocate with people who do like it, but it's shit. If you are listening to it.
Where can you buy bulletproof vests? I don't think you can buy it. I think bulletproof vests.
Is someone after you, Rob?
No, but I think they'd probably be after you.
Right. Oh, right. Because I'm attacking.
I don't think anybody in the UK is going to come after me and the devil.
Let me say this.
For slating Takeshi 6ix9ine. And if you want to, you crack on.
Yeah. And I think the thing is, like, because in America, I'm not going to stand this point too much, but in America, I think what was it? Mumble rap is the biggest thing. And here we have grime, and grime is so much better. It really is. That was just personal.
Stormzy's overrated.
Oh, yeah. You don't like Stormzy.
I don't
Stormzy.
dislike Stormzy.
Do you think he's overrated?
I just think he's overrated. I don't think he's bad. I think his music's bad. I just think he's. I don't want to say ticking a box.
I think
because
he's
that's
a positive role model for people, and that's why
I agree. But I just think, like, the whole Glastonbury thing where they've said they want to do 50-50 male and female like acts across the festival next year.
I think that's a good thing as well.
Yeah, I agree. But then Emily Evis is saying she's struggling to find female artists. Now, does that mean that potentially artists that aren't credible enough to be there are getting a leg up because they need to tick them boxes?
Yeah.
A la Stormzy. Have they just gone, we need to be a bit more PC?
Well, no, because I think with the headliner, you're not going to fuck with the headliner. You're going to go with the headliner.
Yeah, but he's had one album.
But the thing is, okay, on that would be a sufficient argument if it was a woman who was headlining, if they're putting more female acts on. But they're going to have, the whole argument is they always have to do done anyway. So if Stormzy's headlining, then he's there in spite of that.
Yeah, but I get that. But I mean, why have they had somebody that's usually a headliner is somebody that's the Rolling Stones. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's
not anymore.
No, but do you know what I'm saying?
I'm not saying there is no one left of who's the Stones level now.
No, but you know what I'm saying.
But I mean, even that, because I go to being like I go to metal festivals, but like Download is the one I tend to go to the most. And there's about 12 bands on rotation that headline. That's it, because there's no one else big enough. And I think after a while, you have to kind of like give someone that leg up and see, can you do it? So I remember when, I'm a massive Kanye fan. I fucking love Kanye. Not so much him anymore as a person. I defended him until he went to the White House with a Trump hat on. And at that point, I'm just like, yeah, you're on your own. But I still think musically, the guy's a fucking genius. And when he headlined Glastonbury, people were like, not Glastonbury. It was Glastonbury, wasn't it? He headlined. And
was
people, yeah. And people were kicking off about it. But performance-wise, I mean, I haven't been, but I saw it. It was fucking tits.
Yeah, but how many albums has he had? How long has he been around?
True. And
That's the
Stormzy's
difference.
had 2 out.
Yeah, and for a couple of years.
Who else is it? Yeah, but Ed Sheeran's headlined. I'm like, really?
Yeah, but he's the biggest selling artist in the UK. He's a headliner.
Shit.
But he's a headliner.
He's not.
He's had a sold out world tour for 10 years.
Yeah, but
he's a headliner.
I would view,
in my eyes, if I'm paying, how much is Glastonbury for the weekend?
A couple of hundred probably.
That's what I'm saying. So if you went to Download,
yeah,
and you paid
couple of hundred,
and the big name, the last one, the one that everybody wants to see, is a band that nobody's really heard of that much.
Yeah.
And they play 5 or 6 songs because that's all they've got. Would you be disappointed?
It depends. I mean, the thing,
there's so many other bigger artists
here's my
out
thing.
there.
I think with me in festivals, my argument, if there's 5 bands I'd pay to go and see, I'll go. Because 5 bands for me, monetarily wise, would justify the
Instead of
ticket.
5 different gigs. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So there's 5 bands I want to see. If there's 3 on one day, I'll probably just go to the day. Like this year, Rage Against the Machine are back and they're headlining Reading and Leeds. So I'm going to go to Leeds on the Sunday or the Friday, whatever it is, because I've always wanted to see them. And there's not enough of the whole weekend to kind of pull me in. But if there was a band headlining, there's always a headliner that I don't want to see. So I'll just go to the second stage and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I don't think Stormzy is a bad pick for it. I think it's good that he's British, and it isn't the Who, it isn't the Stones, it isn't someone was famous 50 years ago.
Yeah, no, I get that. I just use that. I just
no. I
use
get
them
that.
as a...
No, but that tends to be like if Oasis came back, they would headline it. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying.
And I get that. But how many bands are around now and touring currently are there who could headline Glastonbury
Compared to Stormzy?
that you haven't had play there in the last 4 or 5 years? So you're not repeating people as well.
I just feel like Stormzy's more of a personality than he is an artist. I think he has a bigger presence as a person.
I don't know enough of his music to really kind of. I've got both of his albums, but I haven't really listened to them that much. But I'm more all power to him, man. Hopefully he goes, he fucking kills it, and he'll be bigger after it, and people will go, "It's fucking cool."
Yeah, but you know what people are now saying?
What?
He's a sellout. Because he's now not a grime artist, he's now a popular pop star media, like a media star. This, that, and the other. He's sold out. He's not, which is a bullshit situation.
So you sell out in that argument. You sell out as soon as you get more than your initial fan base. As soon as you sign a contract, as soon as you put music out there, I mean, at what point are you a sellout? It's fucking bullshit.
That's like saying a footballer who plays the Sunday League is a sellout because he signed for Man United. Oh, you fucking sellout!
You're a sellout, right?
How dare you better yourself?
Yeah.
You must stay playing on a Saturday and go to work in a
more
factory.
Ambition.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, oh, you want 4 million people to hear your music? You piece of shit.
You quit that factory and you've been a professional footballer. Sell out.
Yeah.
Sellout's gone back. Anyway, change the subject.
Okay.
We've gone off topic
We have
as
gone off
usual.
topic. We do that.
I have seen, now this is going to be controversial. Are you ready?
I'm always ready.
I seen I don't know where it was actually, something on Tinternet
It's internet.
that said, and I'll read it word for word.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yes.
New research from travel booking site, because we don't want to advertise unless you're sponsoring us, has revealed that families
Yep.
spend, on average, should I read it out and you guess?
Okay.
Okay. So I've revealed that families spend an average blank on family holidays each year, with the average vacation costing blank and lasting blank days. So families spend on average how much per year on holidays? A family. So we'll just go with a family of four.
Okay.
2 mom and dad, 2 kids. Go on average one or two holidays a year.
So say 2 weeks.
So you're saying 14 days,
It's probably 10. Let's go with 10.
10 days.
Is that right?
No, it's 9. So you was close.
Okay.
So that's on average. Obviously, everything's averaged out.
And over a year, family of 4. I've no idea. I honestly have no idea.
They're saying, good guess though.
Cheers. $2,000?
You literally could have said any number.
$2,000.
No. Families spend an average of £4,800
For 9 days.
on family holidays each year, with the average. So if they have 2 a year,
Right.
the average holiday costs £2,400 and lasts 9 days.
That's fucking insane.
so an average family.
I've travelled continents for that much money.
Well, that's £500 and say £600 each.
I was saying earlier, the trip I went on, so it was 17 countries. I started in Canada, did a month in North America, did a month in Central America, and 2 months in South America. Probably a bit more in all of those. That cost me $8,000.
For 4 months.
For four or 5 months, 17 countries, flights there and back. That's everything included. Travel insurance, everything. $8,000.
Shit.
And that wasn't me
That's
skimming.
nothing, is it?
That wasn't skimming. That wasn't, I can't afford to eat here.
That's
that
obviously hostels.
was me. It was hostels.
And wasn't you travelling around in a van for a part of it?
Yeah, North America. My friend Lana, I mentioned earlier, gave me a camper van for a month because she's a fucking doll. If you're listening, thank you. You're a fucking doll. But you were saying before, that woman, your friend, was like, come over, here's a vehicle, drive here to here. She had a camper van. I was like, yeah, you can use it.
That's mint.
That cost me nothing but petrol.
But even that, it's like, this is what really pisses me off when people see me go travelling, see you go travelling, and they go, oh, I wish I could afford that. Look how lucky he is.
Not that hard.
Look how lucky he is.
Yeah.
And you're like, but it's not that expensive.
Yeah. But when I did Asia the year before that, and did Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam, and Nepal. I think that was $5,000. And I saved that working at UPS.
If you really want to go like really, honestly, look at our friend Lauren. She's traveling at the minute.
She's at the minute.
She literally, I
And
think,
she's like for a long, like big.
yeah, like a
travelling
year
as well.
away.
Yeah,
She is. She literally like sold everything she'd got. She sold a car. She drove around in a battered old van for 6 or 7 months. Went to work. Didn't really spend any money. Didn't really go out. She proper saved like you did. Saved her money and then went right. She spoke to work and went right. I want a year off, unpaid, sabbatical, whatever they call it. And she went, and that was it. And off she went, and she's still there now. And this is what I'm saying: if you want to do it, regardless of whether it's a week away or a year away, you can do
100%.
it. The only person that's stopping anybody from going travelling is themselves. It's themselves.
It is.
Because if they go, oh, well, I can't afford it. I've got this, I've got that, I've got blah, 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 blah.
I understand if you've got kids and stuff like that. I get that. But I think outside of that, it's the only restriction you've got.
But even then with kids, you can still do it.
You can. And I've seen people travel, again, in Asia. I've seen people with 2-year-olds backpacking around. And I remember there was an article once about a single mother whose daughter was 9. And rather than teach her history, she took her to places. So, okay, we're going to learn about Rome. Let's go to fucking Rome. Want to learn about the pharaohs? Let's go to Egypt. That's
so cool.
Rad.
That
you know
is
what
so
I mean?
cool.
And I get a lot of people that, it's easy for her. It's easy for you. It's as easy as you want to make it. And it is just having the sacrifice and the drive to want to do it.
And that's exactly what it comes
to. If you want it enough, you'll fucking do it.
That's exactly what it comes
down to. And I remember
to.
when I went, there was a post up when I was in Nepal. I saw this thing on Facebook and I was on my way there. It was Patagonia, sorry, and I was like, on my way there. And I commented on Facebook, like, I'll be there in a week on one of those travel pages. And someone replied to it, just like, if you don't mind me asking, how have you managed it? And I was like, there's no secret. Work, sacrifice, save, and it's shit. And trust me, I've looked everywhere for another way around it. There's not, unfortunately. You just got to save money and you have to go out less. Don't buy those fancy shoes that you want. Don't get takeaway every fucking weekend. You know what I mean? Like, just take the hit because the payoff is worth it.
Definitely. Everyone says, like, cause for about 2 or 3 years, I was going to Vegas like twice a year.
Yeah.
And doing a road trip around one of them. And everyone was going, oh, it's so expensive. I wish I could afford it, this, that, and the other. And I'm like, well, actually, we booked the flights 11 months in advance. So literally the minute the flights was announced, we booked the flights.
Yeah.
We knew roughly when we wanted to go, so we booked the flights early, which means there was £200-400 cheaper than usual. 9 times out of 10, various different airlines have sales at some point.
Yeah, my flight I flew to Seattle one way from London. That was £160.
It's nothing.
At all.
So you can go in direct. It might take longer, but sometimes it's half price.
Yeah.
Like it's half
And the
amount.
thing is, just ask people if you can't find a cheap flight. Ask people like who might be able to. Like Norwegian Air was a thing that when I went, Norwegian Air was the new thing who were doing really cheap flights. So I found one with them. It was a ship flight. Didn't get food because I was like, I'm getting my cost
because
down.
it was just as cheap as possible.
Yeah, and I was like, I want to make it as cheap as possible. So it was 160 one way from Heathrow to Seattle, and £160. Like 14 hours I was fucking there, and then you work out the rest when you arrive. You know, depending on what you like. Some people I met traveling plan meticulously. I don't. I'd rather get somewhere, book a couple of nights, and work it out. I think with that one I did plan a bit, but there is, and with a lot of it, I didn't research a lot. I think when I went to Central America, because there's a lot of places there that are like El Salvador, Honduras, are like the highest homicide rate in the world. So I was like planning on where not to die, because that becomes a thing. And like honestly, on that trip, my list was like, don't die, don't get kidnapped, have fun. In that order.
Three rules.
That was 3 rules. It
rules.
did change to 4 when I was in Guatemala. I got a bus to Guatemala City, and everyone told me, "Don't go to Guatemala City. It's dangerous as fuck." I actually think I was there 2 years ago today.
Okay.
Weirdly,
Yeah.
just one of those things. And I got on this bus. It was a 12-seater bus with 35 people on there. But it's
Standard.
for 12 hours. Cost me £2.
Jesus Christ.
You know what I mean? So and you can pay for more expensive buses if you want to. But the thing is, it's kind of like, for me, that's part of it.
I
And
remember talking to you, I think, on these bus journeys, or as you was like, I want to kill myself.
And you do at the time. And like the longest I did was 3.5 days coming from
On a bus?
On one bus.
Oh, shit.
It was Patagonia to Buenos Aires in Argentina. And like, I closed the curtains and I downloaded like films on my phone. I watched 5 Jason Statham films in one day. which means I watched one Jason Statham film.
It's just different words.
But downloaded podcasts and stuff. Because one thing I found, like I had a 30-hour bus journey in Mexico and I listened to music and I found that I was getting stupider at the end of it because I wasn't engaging my brain.
Yeah.
It becomes background. So I downloaded podcasts and after that was like trying to learn something, which I found helped and like, made me more interesting in the next place because my brain wasn't just fucking drool. But going back to Guatemala, we're on this bus. At one point, there's like a guy sat on my lap, pretty much. He was like on one leg. Because they're all tiny, Guatemalans. All Central Americans are fucking tiny. And I'm 6'3". And then everyone on the bus was Guatemalan. And I had my hair down. This guy was like moving my hair so he could nuzzle up to me. And I'm like, dude's going to do what he's got to do. So I put my hair up, make it easier for him. And everyone was chill for about 10 hours, 11 hours. And then we get to GC, like Guatemala City. And all of a sudden, everyone's really alert. Windows go up, doors are locked. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on? And then it's all T-junctions as well. The bus starts hammering it in between each one. What's going on? Then the bus pulls up, it's about 6 o'clock, and everyone runs. Like in those old westerns, when someone comes out for a gunfight and everyone's running
Just runs away.
Jumps in the trough and stuff like that. That's what was going on. And what the fuck's happening? So I get my backpack and I'm trying to find my next bus because I was going to a place called Antigua. And the police saw me and were like, my Spanish at this point, this was my second Spanish-speaking country. I've been to Mexico, Belize, which speaks English, and then Guatemala. So my Spanish was minimal. And they were like, you need to not be on the streets. We can't protect you. Go find a hotel. So when the police tell you that, you're like, better find a hotel.
Yeah, it's probably best to listen.
And it's getting dark. It's like sunset. So I found a Burger King to steal Wi-Fi. There's a guy with a shotgun guarding it. Why the fuck is there a dude with a shotgun? Who wants his burger so bad? So I go in, I find the Wi-Fi, find a hostel 2 blocks away, get there, check in, and met this Canadian girl called Rachel. And she's like, do you speak English? I was like, I'm from England, so I'd hope so. Ended up hanging out with her. And I was like, so why is it so sketchy around here? And she was like, oh, so Guatemala City is fine unless you're in zone 1. So where are we? Middle of zone 1.
Nice. So you've got a bus directly into the epicenter
of the homicide of the world, basically. And literally, I found out like so the day afterwards. I went to and the thing is like seeing guns again. Being from England, you don't really see unless you're in London. You don't see guns, and even in London, you see armed guards and stuff.
Well,
like
you see
that,
guns usually if you're a wrong gun or if you're going near some sort of
tourist attraction. Yeah. So. Seeing guns everywhere freaked me the fuck out.
We're on like police or on normal like
police and a few everyday people as well.
Okay.
But it's mainly security guards. And you find out again through talking to people, like especially through Guatemalans and stuff like that, you realise that it works out cheaper for them to get a deterrent than insurance because they get hit so many times. And the things in these countries, not that people are assholes. It's just that the poverty's so bad. The countries are run so poorly because they're so corrupt that they have to go to crime.
So it's easier to shoot somebody than it is to get insurance if you get shot.
Right. So I went to an ATM to get money out in the morning and there's 2 cops either side with guns just guarding the cash machine.
Really?
And like I went to buy cigarettes from a store and they've got 2 cages in between it and you pass the money through. And they passed you what you want after.
I've been to an awful lot of something like that in Sutton Coldfield.
Sutton Coldfield.
It's all round.
Sutton Coldfield's quite rich as well, actually.
Yeah, it's surrounded by glass. Like literally, you can't take anything off the shelf. Yeah. Well, it was in a bit of a rough area of Sutton Coldfield.
Yeah.
But yeah, literally everything was behind glass, and you had to ask through their little, and they had to walk all the way around and then come back, drop it, and all the way around, drop it back.
Fucking hell.
So it's not just Guatemala.
Yeah. Sutton Coldfield as well. But I went to like when I stayed in Guatemala for literally Guatemala City for one day. Went to the place I was going to go to, and there's a girl we met there whose friend had been on a bus, a friend she'd met traveling, going through Guatemala City, and apparently they blockaded the bus either side, pulled everyone off the bus, stripped them down, bollock naked, stole all their possessions and the bus.
And the bus.
Jesus
Christ.
So from that point...
That's maximising your potential
so from
there,
that point, my list went, don't die. We went from being don't die, don't get kidnapped, have fun, to don't be left naked on the side of the road. Don't die, don't get kidnapped. Because my thing was, again, tall, they don't sell clothes there for people my size.
So if you get all yours nicked.
I'm fucked. I'm walking around in a crop top and hot pants. No matter what I wear, that's the look.
There's no Amazon Prime in Guatemala,
There really
is there?
isn't. But it happened in Peru as well. In Peru, there was a night bus I took. It was a 24-hour bus, and you're literally driving through the desert. And my mate had lived in Peru for a while, and he messaged me when I was further up in the continent, just saying, "Be careful when you get to Peru. Bus jackings are huge." I'm like, "Don't tell me that." And everyone's got that story because people know. No one's going to tell you that I went traveling. So I went to Central America, to South America, and nothing happened. It was fine. So there's a positive story regarding this.
You did?
I did.
Right.
I lost my wallet, but that's because I was a fucking idiot. That's it. That's the worst thing that happened. I lost my wallet. And Western Union is...
You don't have much luck with wallets, do you?
I don't.
If you're not getting pickpocketed, you're losing them anyway.
Yeah. That was my phone when I got pickpocketed.
Oh, right.
But either way, just no luck with my pockets, essentially. But you do hear the odd story. Like I met a guy in Cambodia who... We went to this bar, it's a place called Snookville on the coast. And there's prostitutes everywhere, but they're trying to rob you.
Right.
And there's like 6 of us out, and it became like a buddy system. Things like, right, everyone buddy
Look
up,
after someone else.
Look out for yourself.
Yeah.
So, and we went to the hostel afterwards, and we met a guy who just got an AIDS test because and didn't know how to tell his girlfriend. He was from England as well. This isn't me, by the way. This isn't one of those. I met a guy who...
A friend of mine.
I didn't have a girlfriend either at the time, so you're fine. Well, definitely wasn't me. But no, he'd been out drinking on the beach, passed out, woke up 30 kilometers away in a warehouse, naked. His clothes were still there. His phone was still there, but passport had gone. Money was like the money in his wallet had gone. And he went out and he had his phone had died, but he's asking people at this like store where he was and where he'd been, and found out he was 30 miles or 30 kilometers away, and they were just laughing at him. And he was like, "I don't know what happened to me." And this guy looked petrified. He said, "I don't know what happened to me. I don't know how I got there, but apparently the prostitutes must have spiked me. Something's happened. I woke up, fuck knows where, with no passport and no
Jesus,
money." And
that's terrifying.
And he went to the police, and the police like, "You have to get AIDS tested just in case." And he's like, "Fuck."
You don't know what if they've used a needle or...
Right. I got spiked by a prostitute.
I saved that story because we're only doing a 1 hour podcast this week.
We are. Well, we're doing the next few. We're going to do a 1 hour podcast.
We are going to change it up.
Well, Rob said we got 5 minutes. I'm going to quickly tell a prostitute story.
Oh, okay.
It's only a short one. This was last year in Romania. So I went by myself for 10 days. Flew to Cluj and had a car, drove down. I was saying about I did the road, the
Transfagaragan.
that one. I went to Bucharest, and I was out in Bucharest. It was a Friday night, Saturday night. Went out, met a bunch of people at the hostel. We went drinking, and we walked about an hour to the old town, and we were drinking there. And I kind of I didn't know these people. I met them in my hostel 2 hours before. Started losing people, and then this Romanian woman comes over and starts talking to me. So we're talking to her, and she's fucking just sound, so chatting for a bit, having some drinks. I kind of lost everyone, and she was like, "Oh, I know this other bar around the corner if you want to go there." It's like, "Cool, sounds good." So we go there for some drinks, and there's no one there at that point. There's like 4 or 5 people, and there's one blonde woman who's kind of sat at the table adjacent to ours, and she was like, "Do you want to fuck her?" I'm sorry, what? And she was like, "Do you want to fuck her?" And I'm like, "I'm good, thanks." And she's like, "Because it's like this much money." And I'm like, "Oh, is she a prostitute?" And she's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Wait, are you a prostitute?" And she's like, "No, I'm an event organizer."
And these are the people that you met in the hostel?
No. This is someone I met in a bar.
Oh, okay.
So she's like, "I'm an event organizer." What's the event? Like my dick in her vagina.
Yeah, that sounds like an event.
That's the event, right?
Yeah.
I was like, "No, look, I don't mean it in a bad way. Like, it's a fucking trade. It's the oldest profession in the world. I've got nothing against you being a prostitute. I'm not going to pay for sex. It's not going to be a thing." I was like, "Well, I'll still hang out if you want to hang out." Because we've been hanging out at that point for about 45 minutes for an hour, and she was cool. We'd had a couple of drinks and stuff like that. At this point, nothing's going to happen. Even if it was like the money aspect of it wasn't involved, I'm not fucking a prostitute off the clock or on the clock. And then she's trying to get me to fuck her. And I'm like, "I thought you weren't a prostitute. I thought you were an event organizer." And she's like, "Oh, but I like you." I was like, "If you like me, why are you charging me?"
Yeah.
Either way, I was like, "Look, nothing's going to happen. And if this is your job, if you're on the clock now, it's better off just carrying on with someone else. Because if you're going to invest 2 more hours into this night, I'm just having beers, you know what I mean? I'll talk to fucking anyone when I travel. But if you're waiting for this to pay off,
It's not happening.
it's not gonna. So I'd rather you went somewhere else where you're gonna get money. At that point, so she'd been buying the drinks at this bar, I thought. And at this point, she must have gestured to the barman, and he's like trying to charge me for the drinks. I'm like, no, she brought the drinks. Like, no, you're paying for the drinks. I'm like, okay, how much is it? It was about £100. We had 3 drinks each in Romania, which is cheap as fuck.
Yeah.
And I'm not paying that much money. He's like, you are? Make me? He's a very small man.
Okay.
So he was like, how much have you got? So I think I paid like £30, which is probably still paying too much, but was like, fine. So left. At this point, I'm smashed. It's about 3 a.m., 4 a.m. I remember about 20 minutes more of that evening trying to find people from my hostel in the bar we'd left, and then blacked out and don't remember anything until about 6. I think it was about 6:30. It was getting light at that point, or it was light at that point. And it was like my brain clicked on, like I came online.
Really?
Yeah, so like I think she'd spiked me when I was in the bar in one of the drinks. And I left before it kicked in.
I'm with you, yeah.
You know what I mean? So I kind of like not woke up because I was awake, but like my consciousness kicked back in. And I've stood in this, like a zombie, just kind of almost like rocking in this shopping centre at 6:30 in the morning. Still had my phone, had my wallet, had my passport. So nothing, but I didn't have a top on. Like I had my jumper off. But I didn't know this until about 10 minutes when I needed to piss. So I found a doorway, left, got outside. It's hammering down with rain. And then I saw my reflection in a bus window go past. I'm like, I had like a vest on, but didn't have my t-shirt on. I must have taken it off somewhere. So I'm not sure if I've gone to bed somewhere, like lay down somewhere to go to sleep. I had to walk for 3 hours. My phone had died. Still smashed. Really confused. Last 3 or 4 hours of my night, just walking around trying to find my hostel. Got back to my hostel at like 9 or 10 a.m. Found all the people who I was out with the night before, and they were like, "What happened to you?" And I was like, "Oh, I got spiked by a prostitute." Because why not? I had to sleep for 3 hours and then drive 10 hours to the north of Romania, which in my head was a 4-hour drive. Took me 10 hours to drive back because I was flying out in the morning. I got back, every hotel and hostel was fully booked. So I had to sleep in my rental car.
And you just literally wanted to sleep.
Yeah. So I slept. I got pizza, sat in my car. Romania is fucking awesome for pizza, by the way. So fucking good for pizza. So I got a pizza, sat in my car, slept surprisingly well, being a big dude. And then, woke up, returned my car, got my flight home. But yeah, so be wary of prostitutes when they get you drinks.
There you go then.
That's the lesson.
Life hack.
Life hack.
There are thens, Sonny's, the devils.
Yeah.
The devils.
Prostitute experience.
Stay away from prostitutes, kids. They're bad for you.
Yeah, they're not good.
But yeah, as I said before that delightful story, we are doing
1 hour podcast.
1 hour podcast for the next few, just because we've had a few comments saying it's a bit long, and obviously we want people to listen to all of it.
So yeah, we'll do a few 1 hour ones and we'll see at the end of it.
Yeah, and then we'll get your feedback. Everyone's giving us really good feedback, good and bad, so it's really good. So if you do prefer the 1 hours, obviously let us know. If you want to hear a bit more, obviously we can change it up. There's no hard and fast rule. We are new to this. We are figuring it all out. So we are putting pictures and
content. Yeah, if you follow us on social media, we've got Twitter, Instagram, Facebook is our main platforms for social media. And everything we tend to discuss here, we'll put there so you can kind of like interact with us.
Yep. Any subjects, anything that you agree with, disagree with, anything that you want to know more of, anything that you enjoy, don't enjoy, just let us know. Please subscribe to us on wherever you get your podcast from.
Yeah.
Apple,
YouTube,
Spotify, Deezer,
Google Podcasts.
I think we're on Alexa now. I think you can ask Alexa to play
Try
Archer
it.
and
If
the
you've
Devil.
got Alexa, say, Alexa, play Archer and the Devil.
On Google Podcasts, I think you have to say.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, so that should be pretty cool. If anyone's got Alexa or anything like that, please send us a video. But yeah, please make sure you subscribe to YouTube. Hit that subscribe button and the notification bell. Smash the subscribe button. Don't break your phone. We don't want to be responsible. Yeah, but make sure you just follow us in everywhere you can. We need to get going. We are going to start looking at getting some guests in soon. So obviously we need the numbers up. So let's get a good following so we get more good guests for you guys. And we will see you next week.
Yep.
Peace and love to everyone.
Smooth.